All right, kicking things off with a topic I think we all wonder about, especially when we're trying to be healthier. Smoking and high blood pressure. I
Yeah.
mean, we kind of know they don't mix well,
Right.
but today we're going deeper.
Okay.
Like really uncovering those sneaky details most people don't talk about.
I like it.
And to guide us, we've got some excerpts from The Empty Spot.
Go ahead.
It's a whole website dedicated to blood pressure info, which is pretty cool.
Sounds like it.
The article we're looking at is by Dr. Michael Rotman.
Okay, Dr. Rahman.
He's a specialist in, get this, structural heart stuff.
Oh, wow.
Seriously. And it's been reviewed by this Robin Backlund person, so, legit information here.
Definitely. So we're in good hands for this deep dive.
Totally. Now, before we get into the how, let's talk about the high blood pressure, or as the fancy folks call it, hypertension. It's not just about, getting angry easily, right?
No, not at all. It's way more than that.
Right.
The article explains it really well, saying high blood pressure is when, basically, your blood pressure is always higher than it should be. Like above that 120/80 number you always hear about.
Right.
And it's not just some random number.
Right.
Over time, that constant pressure can really mess things up. We're talking heart problems like cardiovascular disease,
Oh, wow.
heart attacks, even strokes. It's serious stuff.
Okay, yeah, that definitely puts it into perspective. So how does smoking even fit into all of this? The article mentions this 20-minute window. What's up with that?
Just imagine this. You light up a cigarette, or even if you're just around someone smoking.
Right.
Within just 20 minutes, your blood pressure and your pulse, they both jump up.
Really?
It's because smoking basically flips a switch in your body. It activates your sympathetic nervous system.
Which is?
Think fight or flight response.
Oh, wow.
That's what's kicking in, making your heart race and everything.
So every puff is like a mini panic attack.
Pretty much. Your body's on high alert with every drag.
Wow, never thought of it like that. That's wild.
Yeah, the body's got some interesting ways of telling us things.
That's for sure. So
Okay.
that's the immediate impact. What about long term? Does smoking actually cause high blood pressure, or is that like a myth?
It's definitely not a myth. Think of your arteries like highways. Okay.
I'm with you.
And plaque from smoking, that's rush hour traffic,
Yeah.
champing everything up. That buildup, atherosclerosis, it's the worst. It restricts blood flow, makes your heart work way harder than it needs to.
Making your blood pressure go up.
Exactly.
So it's not even just the nicotine doing the damage.
You got it. The smoke itself, it's messing with your blood vessel walls, roughing them up, making them all narrow.
Double whammy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like adding potholes and lane closures to that already jammed highway.
Yikes. This is intense. So is there any hope for people who've been smoking for a long time? Can quitting even help at that point?
That's actually one of the most hopeful things Dr. Rotman talks about.
Oh, really?
He says even if you've been smoking for years, quitting can still make a huge difference in managing your blood pressure.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it really shows it's never too late to make a change.
That's really encouraging to hear. But what about people already on medication for high blood pressure? Does smoking affect that at all? This is what blows my mind, though. The article mentions a study from back in 2005 that found smoking can actually make your blood pressure meds less effective.
Oh, wow.
Less effective? Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it's like shooting yourself in the foot while trying to run a race.
Exactly. It's like you're taking 2 steps back for every step forward.
Totally. Basically, it's like smoking is messing with the medication, making your body not respond to it as well.
So frustrating.
It really highlights how important those lifestyle choices are, even when you're on meds.
It's like trying to bake a cake with, rotten eggs or something. It's just not going to work, right?
Uh-huh. Perfect analogy.
So how do we get out of that mess? The article does mention some ways to quit, and it's not all just about willpower, right?
It's not just about being tough. There are actual methods that can help.
Like what? What do they suggest?
Well, they mention nicotine replacement therapy, NRT for short.
Okay, NRT.
That's things like the patches, the gum, even nasal sprays. They help manage those cravings.
Makes sense. So you're basically swapping out cigarettes for something a bit less harmful.
Exactly, to kind of wean yourself off.
I like it. And I think I've heard of behavioral methods too.
Yeah, that's another approach. It's a lot about setting realistic goals for yourself.
Okay, so don't try to quit cold turkey on day 1.
Right. Don't set yourself up for failure. It's also huge to have a good support system.
Yeah, like friends, family, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Talk to people. Find a support group. Surround yourself with others who get it.
Because quitting is hard. Having people to lean on probably makes a big difference.
It makes all the difference. And having a game plan for those tough moments when cravings hit.
Oh, yeah, because let's be real, those cravings are no joke.
Seriously, they can be intense, but having a plan in place helps a lot.
So smart. Speaking of the whole quitting journey, the article mentions something that seems kind of counterintuitive. They said there's a chance your blood pressure might actually go up temporarily after quitting.
Yeah, that's a common concern people have.
Because, like, I thought quitting was supposed to lower your blood pressure, not make it higher.
It does eventually.
Yeah.
But there can be a little bump in the road at first. Think
Yeah.
of it like your body throwing a little tantrum.
A tantrum.
Yeah, it's used to getting its nicotine fix, and now it's in withdrawal. So you might feel more anxious, on edge.
Oh, right. Makes sense.
And those withdrawal symptoms, they can temporarily raise your blood pressure.
So it's like a tiny detour on your road trip to better health.
Exactly. A little detour, but not a complete U-turn. It's super temporary.
Okay. Good to know. So as long as you push through that initial hump, you're on the right track.
Exactly. Your body's hitting the reset button, but the long-term benefits of quitting, way more important than a small temporary spike.
That's reassuring. But it still sounds pretty daunting, like going through those withdrawals and all.
It can be tough, you're right. But remember, you don't have to go through it alone.
Talking to your doctor, that's always good advice. They can probably help figure out a quitting plan that actually works for you.
Absolutely. It's like having a personal trainer, but for quitting smoking.
I like that. Someone to cheer you on and help you through those tough spots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're not alone in this, not at all. And, you know, it's pretty incredible when you think about everything we've talked about today. I mean, we covered the immediate spike in blood pressure after a cigarette, the damage it does over time, even how smoking messes with your medication.
It's a lot, for sure. But I'm thinking about our listeners maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed with all this info.
Right.
What I hope they take away from this is that knowledge is power, right? It's about giving you the tools to make the best choices for your health.
Exactly. You're in the driver's seat. And honestly, even small changes, they can make a world of difference in the long run.
They really do. So for anyone listening, maybe thinking, okay, this is eye-opening and all, but where do I even start? What would you tell them? What's one thing they can do, like right now?
Honestly, if you're a smoker, just have a real honest conversation with your doctor about wanting to quit. That's it.
Simple as that.
It's the first step, and they can help you figure out the rest.
It's all about taking that first step, like you said. You don't have to have it all figured out right this second. Just start somewhere.
Exactly. So, as we wrap up, think about this. If knowledge is power, what's one action you're going to take based on what we've talked about today?
That's a great question to ponder as you go about your day. We're here to arm you with information, but taking charge of your health, that's up to you.
Absolutely. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and take good care of yourselves.